welcome back to the Movie Mansion. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing two trailers which have recently been released for the season 10 finale of The Walking Dead. Before we begin, just remember, hit the like, subscribe and bell button if you want to get some more Walking Dead content like this. Okay, so let's jump into it. We have two trailers, one which was released on a UK Fox Twitter account, and one which I'm assuming is a leak. The reason I'm saying this is because the quality isn't brilliant and I can't find an official source for this. Apologies in advance for the quality of the shots we've managed to get. Coming from Twitter and from a leak, you can't really expect the HD that we're used to, but we can learn so much from what we see. I've broken this down into three different parts. The first, which let's be honest is the one we've all been waiting for, is the groups going outside. The second is what's going on in the hospital. And the third one is Eugene and the explorers who could hopefully meet the Commonwealth quite soon. Okay, let's start off with the group outside. Now these first few shots showed Gabriel looking outside and seeing the walkers as they pass. He is absolutely terrified. But we do get our first piece of information, which is that there are 4 groups of 2 who go outside. So that leaves 8 people we need to account for. Based on our previous trailers, we already know that Daryl, Kelly, Carol, Luke and Jules are all going outside, but we haven't had the final 3 confirmed. But based on some of the shots we're going to go through now, I think we can confirm who those final 3 members are. But let's carry on. So the next shots we've seen before of Daryl saying goodbye to Judith, everything getting quite emotional. But what I do find really cool is, and we've seen it again, the idea that everyone is going outside covered in walker guts. Now if you remember, this was introduced back in season 1. It was a huge WTF moment where Rick and our team at the time chopped up that walker's body and covered themselves in guts, and it's great that all the way in season 10 we're still coming back to this method of being able to camouflage and walk amongst the dead. We also have this shot here of Kelly putting on the Whisperer mask, so we've got people covered in walker guts, we've got people camouflaging themselves as the Whisperers themselves. They're all just great visuals which really set up the mood for the episode going forward. So the next shot seems to confirm who the one of the 3 is, and it seems to be Magna. In this shot we see Magna looking absolutely terrified. It could well be PTSD and her having flashbacks of when she was stuck in the horde, crammed in with everyone around her, and she lost touch of Connie. It's less likely, but still possible, that maybe she's just caught sight of Connie, because you've got to remember that actress Lauren Ridloff has been signed up to the Eternals. So that is a possibility, but I think it's more likely she's just having a PTSD moment where all those memories, the smells, the sounds, the feelings of being absolutely trapped amongst essentially dead bodies. It must have been a horror show to go through and to feel and experience, but she seems to be getting flashbacks. Now the second reveal is that Jerry is going to be going outside. In this shot here, we see him, it looks like he's hiding on the side of the road, allowing some Whisperers to pass. And this leads us to the next shot, which finally reveals, as far as I can tell, who the final member going outside will be. And it's a huge moment, and that is showing Lydia. Now, if you look, it looks like we have a vehicle being guarded by those members who have gone outside. I'm not sure if it's carrying survivors away, because if you look at it, it does look like it's more likely to be carrying speakers. And if you watch the trailer, it did seem like the vehicle was moving quite slowly as well. And if you remember, every time we've tried to draw away walkers previously, it's been on slower moving vehicles with speakers booming out sound. So it looks like our teams of 2 are trying to all get together and create a path to drag all the walkers away, to create an escape route for those who are stuck in the hospital to find a way out. Now, the other thing I think they're trying to do, which makes sense to me, because it doesn't actually make sense to me that Lydia's outside. She's not a fighter. She isn't very skilled. Is I think they're trying to use her to draw out Beta away from the hospital. So they're using her as bait. Now, if you look at this image here, Lydia looks absolutely terrified, and that could well be the reaction to seeing Beta. And the next shots do show Beta pulling out his knife. But part of me thinks the writers, producers are trying to create a diversion here, because if you look behind Beta, it looks like there's bricks, whereas obviously the rest of the crew are all outside at the time. So he could well be at the hospital and possibly in the basements and downstairs areas. I'm just thinking of possible escape routes that they try and use to get the kids out. So he could well be in those lower areas, and this is a diversion to get us thinking that they're going to be meeting them outside. But it all definitely looks cool and scary either way, and it is super exciting that now we have what we think are those finalized groups of people to think of what is their plan. Are they trying to take the walkers away? Is it an assassination attempt? Are they trying to get in between the walkers and find Beta? Because if you think about it, a lot of those who are gone are the most dangerous members of our communities. I think it's more likely they're just trying to carve up an escape route, but you never know, and it will be so interesting to find out. Now back to the hospital, not a huge amount is revealed. We know the Whisperers are trying to break in and the doors are currently barricaded. We do get the shot here with Gabriel, Judith, and I think that is Rachel from Oceanside, but we don't see what happens to Judith and Rachel. We do see two Whisperers breaking in and Father Gabriel using his shotgun to attack one of them, but apart from that, we don't really see much more. But it does look like the Whisperers find their way into the hospital, so it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out, if the kids have managed to escape, if Gabriel survives the encounters, if Beta goes inside with them. It's going to be quite an interesting thing to find out. Which bring us to our final few shots, which are of Eugene, Yumiko, Ezekiel and the princess. Now we've seen a lot of these shots before, but we do see a few new ones. So Eugene up against a car looking distressed, a few of Ezekiel giving a pep talk and trying to raise morale. I think this is all because they're running late and Eugene doesn't want to let Stephanie down again, having, if you remember, Rosita intercepting their radio conversation, and he felt like he'd broken her trust and he promised not to do that again. So I think this is him getting quite upset at the idea that yes, they're going to end up letting her down one more time. And we do see this shot here of Eugene and Yumiko, and both of them look quite downbeat. And so I do think they've arrived late, but not much is given away about the Commonwealth in these trailers. I think that's going to be the cliffhanger ending. So I think for anyone who's not fully aware of any of the comic book story, I think they're trying to keep it a surprise. Make out that Eugene, Yumiko and the crew are arriving late, but we are in the rail yard at dark, and I could just imagine at the end the Commonwealth coming out surrounding our group of 4, machine guns raised, all ready to go. So yeah, definitely exciting times ahead. And that was the double trailer breakdown essentially from Fox and our leak. I've taken shots from both trailers, tried to categorize them, give you guys an overview of hopefully some new things we've found out, as well as build up some of the excitement, because let's be honest, this finale we have waited so long, but it's going to be so good at the same time. Now, if you'd like some more trailer breakdowns, reviews of upcoming episodes, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that bell button, to get a notification of the next time I upload. But first of all, thanks for watching, and second of all, I hopefully will catch you again soon. Bye bye.